Hello, uh, my name is Rahul Pathak, and today in this short video, I'm going to demonstrate a few features of Oracle R12.2.4, especially when you use Oracle in your native Oracle forms. So let me get started. Let me log in Oracle. This is my username. Let me put in my password. All right, so that's my new Oracle login. I'm using version R12.2.4. So let me go in one of the Oracle responsibility called Oracle Order Management, which is used for creating and managing your orders. All right, let me go there. Let me go into the order organizer, which is probably my favorite function which is being used in our order management. All right. Before I go into that, let me show you all the tips you can use with the menu. All right. So the things on the left, right, this is plus, minus, and then the plus, plus, and minus, minus. So most of you use them, but just for FYI, if you use double plus, so what it does is it will expand on your menu. And if I use minus minus, it collapses the menu. If I have a single menu, if I hit the plus sign, as the name suggests, it will expand just that menu. And if I go back and hit on minus, that collapses that menu. So these are very intuitive, and you can use them on the as you wish to expand or collapse all the menu items. The next thing I'm going to show you is very interesting, and that's around saving the queries on the order organizer. So I'll explain you that in a bit. Let's say I'm an order admin or an internal sales guy or an account manager who typically looks at all the orders, and I have a specific query criteria I use in my day-to-day operations to look at what orders are there on the books. And let's say let's put in some dates here. Let's say let's give it like till 5th of September, right? And we don't want that. And I'll put in a customer number as well. So let me do that. Let's in this field. So let's say this is my query criteria. I use day in and day out. Every day I use this query. Maybe my dates change, but all these things don't change. And then I click on find. I'm going to show you a shortcut so that you don't have to enter that over and over. So, and then in the search results, if I go and I say, see, this is a button called this is my output, and now in the search result, if I right click, there's an option called save query. So what it does is, let me click that. So now I can name this as vendor dropship orders. Let me VDS staples. Let me put that name. That I know I want to use this for querying the vendor dropship for staples. I click on public so that other people can use it, and click OK. Okay. So what does it do? So it has created a public folder called VDS staples. So let me close this function. Let me come back in. Now instead of putting my vendor dropship here and doing all this thing, I can just move over, go to my public folder, and I double click this one. So it will execute that query, and it will bring you the results. So this is very, very handy, okay? So you can save your queries and manage them to this one. If I don't make it public, it will be stored in the personal folders. Right now I don't have any, but that checkbox which enables you to say as public or private If you not check that, then all your queries will appear in the personal folders. Right. So next thing, let me open this. Next thing I'm going to show you a little bit more on the folder functionality. Okay. So all right. So in the shipping tab, let's say I want to hide this field. Okay, folder hide field. Okay. Let's say this is the default view, and that's what Oracle says. Oracle gives it doesn't show in sub-inventory, but in my operations, I want to see sub-inventory when I use the Oracle order lines form. So I go folder, show field, and select sub-inventory. Okay. So then this sub-inventory fields get displayed. Other thing I don't like is the way it's laid out. So I don't want to see, let's say, request date first. I want to see my shipping method. It's too far across, and I want to see that in my day-to-day operations, that should come out first in my list of columns being displayed. So let me bring that forward. Okay, and let's say I put it next to my sub-inventory field. So I rearrange my columns a little bit, and then this should be my default view whenever I open this form. So let me create a folder. I will save it as my open fields, and then I will name this as open fields favorite, and we name that fail, right? And then I'm going to make it as open by default and click it to public. This is the same thing. When I make it as public, everybody in the corporation can access that. So I'll leave those two on and make it as open fields fair and by default folder. So this has saved it. So as you see, I've rearranged some of my columns, and then this is my open fields folder. So let me show you what I mean by that. So when I close this order, let me bring back the order organizer and put in the order number and open that. And let's see how the fields show up on the line. So see, if you see my cursor, it has opened the folder called open fields favorite because this says it is default. And then when I scroll a little bit and go on my shipping tab, it has maintained the order of the columns as well as it has put in a new field called sub-inventory. Okay, so that's the usage of the folder functionality. It's very, very handy when a lot of users need to have their own views as well as their own views in terms of seeing or hiding which columns they want to see or not see, as well as they can rearrange the columns from left to right depending on the way they use all the fields. So this is very, very handy and you can use it all the time. And as I said earlier, you can make those that view as public and make your own view, as well as you can make it your personal folder and then not share with everyone. And also you can make it as your default view. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you is some of the hotkeys which are used in Oracle. So let's say I'm entering this line and let's say I enter a new line here. So one shortcut key is called Shift F5. So what does that do? So if I'm creating a new line and I click Shift F5, it copies the value of the field above it. Okay. So as you see in this case, it copied the order item. I go to the quantity. Let's say I want to maintain the same quantity. I go and click in Shift F5. So it copies the field above. So Shift F5 on new line in the entry mode, it will copy the value of the field above it. Okay. So you don't have to type in again. The next thing is called Shift F6. If that's enabled in this form, like the thing on the order lines is not enabled. But if Shift F6 is enabled and you press on Shift and F6, what it does is it will copy the entire line above onto the line which the cursor is on right now. So when creating a new line, it will just duplicate the contents of the line above. So in this case, I try Shift F6, but this is not enabled on this form. So I go in and put Shift F5. So you got the concept. So if you put Shift F6, if Shift F6 was enabled, I wouldn't have to type in the item, the quantity, the UN, everything would have just flown from the above line. Okay, so that's the Shift F5 and Shift F6. Next thing is, instead of people going and click on the save button, you can just press in Control S as the hotkey for save. Just pressing Control S, all the lines, all the information which you just entered gets saved on the form. All right. So those are some of the very, very useful hotkeys. Shift F5, Shift F6, and then Control S. All right. One more thing I'm going to show you is on the form. A lot of people don't know where all the functions are. If I don't know, what I mean is, if somebody tells me, okay, go and do a quick release. So if I was not very familiar with the form functionality, I would go in and look everywhere. Okay, it's not here, it's not here. So for that, the hotkey is Control L. So what does Control L do to you? Just press Control L. It will list all the functions which are available on this form. So now I press Control L, and then now I'm looking for quick release. So I type in I'm looking for release sales orders. I type in REL. There you go. So I find this. I can access the release sales order functionality directly through this form. So similarly, I press Control L. I can look for shipping transactions form, and then there you go. This is the form I will use for ship confirming my pick tickets and deliveries. So that's Control L is very, very handy to find out any functions which you're looking for instead of going through the menus and navigating through this plus and minuses. Okay. The next thing is Control K. Control K, what it does is, as I told you, the hotkeys, instead of memorizing them, you press Control K. Then it will tell you all these things. So Shift F5 is duplicate the field, Shift F6 is duplicate the record above, and as all of you know, these keys, right? F11 and Control F11 are used to query, enter the query and execute the query. Enter queries F11, Control F11. So these are again one of these. These are again hotkeys which people use. So that's pretty much little quick tips and tricks on this form. Thanks for watching and staying here with me. Again, my name is Al Fadak, and if you have any questions, you can always email me on the email below. Thank you all, and you guys have a great day.